Hello, welcome back to GP's Odds and Ends. Jessica here. So today I have a Lavender Violets dip powder kit. Now this is another one of the kits that I got last year on Amazon Prime Day during that shopping, so I did get it at a discount. At this point I don't really remember how much it was originally versus how much I paid, but I know that they were all at a pretty good discount. This kit was quite big. I was quite impressed as far as it being, on sale for Prime Day, and it also being a fairly decent size kit. We have full size bottles in here. There's 8 dip powder colors just in this box, and that second box came with this kit, so they all came together. This is a really nice thick file. We have the dip powder brush to brush off any excess powder, which is really nice, and it's nice and fluffy and soft. And I'm going to go through the liquids as well before I delve into that second box. But we have the full-size bottles of the base coat, the activator. This one is the top coat. And then that fourth bottle, which I won't be using today, is the brush saver. So that kind of is supposed to help clean off your brushes, but if you kind of take care of them while you're doing your nails and everything, you shouldn't really need to use that. So I pull out a couple of colors just to kind of see what they look like. They are named, or their colors are given a name on the bottom. So you can see here, this one is called Hot Pink. So they have a variety of colors in this kit. There are some glitter colors, not just the normal silver and gold, but there's some pinks and some other glitter colors in this one as well, which was really nice. I love that the dip powder jars are sealed. That's really nice when you kind of are putting them back into the box. That will help reduce any kind of spillage if they're not stored upright, those little jars of powder. And they're good size jars too. I think that these jars are, I can't remember exactly now, but I think they are the 0.5, which is a pretty standard size for dip powders. That's usually like the normal size that you would get. And then there's another 12 colors in the other box. So there's a lot of colors in this particular kit. So I needed to kind of open everything up because I wasn't really sure what kind of color I wanted to go with as far as doing the mani today. I usually, in these kits, if they have a glitter as well as a solid or cream colors, like to try one of each. And this set is also a little bit different because it's a quick dry dip powder system. So some of the steps are a little bit different, but we'll get into that a little bit later. It's nothing too crazy, but there are a couple of steps that are a little bit different that I wanted to make sure that I followed. So I was reading this kind of carefully because they actually have you, or tell you in the steps, to file, shape, and buff prior to applying activator, which is not usual for dip powder kits. Usually you do the activator before any filing or shaping to make sure that the powder is hard and cured so that it stands up to the filing and doesn't crumble off of your nail. This one was a little bit different, so it tells you to file and do all of that first. So I think in this case the activator is solely just to make sure your top coat is shiny. It doesn't really specifically say that, but I did go ahead and decide on these 2 colors. So we have begonia and rose pink. At the end, they are kind of a little bit of a shade off of each other, so they're not quite a perfect match, but both of them are still very pretty. And surprisingly, I went for pink. I've said it multiple times on this channel that I'm not typically a pink girl, but I was trying to go for colors that looked like they would go well together. So this is what we ended up with. And that glitter is stunning. To me, it's kind of a little bit more of a watermelon kind of pink, and then it kind of has those golden, flecks of glitter in it. It's really super pretty. So I'm going to do my normal dip powder process. Everything in the instructions is pretty on par with other dip powder systems as far as applying the powder to your nails. So you start with the base coat, dip into the color, brush off any excess. I still use my water marble tool here to clean up around the cuticle. That'll help you get kind of that nice, clean, crisp edge around your cuticle line. And I only did 2 layers of the dip powder. I could have gone with a third, and I probably should have in hindsight, because for this particular mani, a couple of the nails, like the dip powder popped off on a couple of nails, because I do still have peel base under these as well. So a couple of them did pop off the very next day, which was disappointing because I didn't get to take any pictures, but I probably should have gone with 3 layers versus just the 2, but the color was very nice in just the 2 layers. So I wasn't disappointed with how the colors looked by any means. And the glitter laid really nice and flat, didn't have any problems with the application or anything like that. And you notice I'm doing the glitter nails first. You could do the flat colors first or the glitter, doesn't really matter, but I am going to go in with a scrubby brush just to kind of make sure I don't have any excess glitters that are going to kind of fly around and land on the other nails as I'm doing them. So I do try to, be careful with that. Okay, so you can see that this is a little bit of a lighter rose. It's not quite in that same like watermelon kind of pink color family, but it is still a very pretty color. So I'm not at all by any means disappointed with it. Sometimes it's hard to tell what the dip powder is really going to actually look like on your nail, because sometimes it tends to be a little bit of a shade maybe darker, or even a few shades darker than what it looks like in powder form once you kind of apply it with the liquid. So it is it is a little bit of a different color compared to that glitter, but I still think it's pretty. And I didn't have any problems. This was a really easy kit to use. The powders and everything with the base coat, the base coat was nice. It was really nice. It didn't go on, too thick. It didn't dry so fast, because it is a quick drying kit, but the base coat didn't dry so fast that you couldn't get it, apply the dip powder appropriately or get full coverage with the dip powder. But it dried fast enough where I didn't really feel like I had to re-dip my nail into the powder to kind of soak up excess base coat like I've done with, some other liquids. And the coverage, the dip powders are nice and soft. They don't look grainy at all. Like they looked really nice. So here with the instructions, I was just kind of going through them again, because here, I'm saying again that it's telling you to file and buff and shape prior to activator. So I am actually going to do that on camera. I am speeding this up a bit though. And I'm not using the e-file this time around. I am using the file that they gave in the kit. I believe it has 100 on one side, 180 on the other, so there is a different coarseness on each side of the file. The file was really nice. I like that it kind of has that, I don't know if it's really like an ergonomic design, but kind of that like triangle, like it's a little bit thicker in the middle. But I mean, it worked really well. I didn't find that anything crumbled off of my nails as far as the dip powder was concerned, but I didn't want to use the e-file for that reason as well. I wanted to use the file that they provided, so I'm just kind of filing the sidewalls, the free edge, as well as buffing the surface to make sure that there's not any bumps or anything like that, and it worked really well. I was very happy with the end result, but the powder went on really nice too, so there's something to be said for how the application of the powders go, as well as far as, you know, whether or not you're going to have lumps and bumps and things like that. But you can see I'm just kind of going around the cuticle edge to make sure that that's nice and buffed. I like to kind of buff that down or file that down just a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural and it doesn't look like you have this big bump right near of powder product right near where your cuticle is. So the filing and everything went well. I do pull out this regular file just to clean up some edges that were a little bit rough, and I didn't want my nails to kind of look too rounded as far as the free edge is concerned as well. But I was very happy with this kit. Okay, and then before I go in with the activator, and this is not part of the steps, but I do like to make sure that I have any filing dust or anything like that really cleaned off of my skin and the surface of my nails, because I don't want that to get set into place with the activator and then have my nail look grainy or anything like that from the filing dust once I apply the top coat. So I always do like to clean with some alcohol on that lint-free wipe that I've started using as well. I did do the flat color nails first, and that's just to make sure, again, if there's any glitters or anything, that I'm not getting them stuck in place on the cream color nails, and then went on to the glitter. So I let that sit for a couple minutes before I go in with the top coat. But you know, that's basically what the steps kind of said. You know, do the activator, then do the top coat. So I'm going to do kind of my normal process here as well. We're going to do one layer that is just the quick 2 to 3 swipes from cuticle to free edge down every nail, wiping that brush in between. And then on the second layer, I'll go in and be more thorough with the top coat, make sure the entire surface is covered, as well as getting my free edge and everything like that. And then we will let that dry for a few minutes. It did dry quickly, but I was very, very surprised by this kit and how nice these ended up looking. All right, so this is after drying, and I have to say I am very impressed with the top coat. That is super shiny. Super shiny. I think they look amazing. I'm very impressed with the top coat in this kit. And from getting it from Amazon, you know, I don't always expect them to look so nice. So that this kit was definitely worth it. I think I have maybe 2 more kits to try from the stuff that I bought last year still, because I kind of put it on the back burner a little bit, but yeah, definitely happy with this one. I'm going to finish up with the cuticle oil, just make sure that my skin gets all the moisture back after using alcohol and activator. It really dries my skin and my cuticle area out, so cuticle oil is a must. And then I do apply lotion pretty much on a daily basis as well. But I'm really happy with how these came out, and just the kit in general. I definitely will go back to that. I'm interested to maybe see also how those liquids work with other dip powders, maybe from other companies, so that might be a future mani. But these came out super cute. I'm so very happy with them. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me and subscribing. Please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Comment down below, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.